So-called longevity experts believe the first person to live to 150 years old is already alive. You know, so people being born now could potentially live to their 150. They say significant breakthroughs in reversing our biological clocks, including new drugs, treatment advances, AI, all mean that we could be living longer than ever before. Do you fancy it, living till 150 years old? Kelle?
I'm exhausted already. I was always told that the industry that I chose, it would be over by the time I was 30. And it just seems to get busier and busier. But I always kind of favour quality over quantity. So I think if I was still fit and healthy and everything was working and I could still do what I love, then, hey, why not? But, no, I'm not in for 150. I can't imagine that being happening.
Will you be getting your bits out?
What, 150? I mean, if they still want it.
When you get to my age, 79...
But you still get your bits out, Janet. I've seen pictures of you.
Well, do you know my topless story? When I started as a fashion editor and I was working on a London newspaper, I didn't realise... I went to the south of France and I thought, well, I'm not famous, I'm not a celeb. I posed on the beach. I posed on the beach for my husband at the time, took my top off, lay there, bloke takes my photograph. And then when I came back to the London Evening Standard offices, there was my picture blown up on the wall of the newsroom.
No, wouldn't like that.
No.
With my bits out.
But would you want to live to 150?
To the living to 150.
Yeah.
Because there are people now who are obsessed with their longevity.
I answered completely the wrong thing then. I think
I covered for you.
I think we can safely say Janet's losing the plot. No, I definitely want to be
that thing about age.
You do?
No, I want to be 150, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. I'm taking vitamin D, vitamin B. The only issue I have, on a day-to-day basis is blood pressure, but you can easily control that with drugs. It's inherited, not diet.
You want to live because you just enjoy life and you've got plans?
I get up every day and I feel positive about the day. I don't feel that every day is a burden to go through. But I do worry about young people, the people that you've just said are, being born now, who are going to have the chance to live to 150. Because I was reading an interview with Alan Milburn, who's been asked by the government to look into NEETs, the number of young people aged between 18 and 24 who are not in education or employment or studying. So there's 700,000 of them. Wow. And a large proportion, up to at least a third, are claiming that they have mental issues and that they can't work because they don't feel strong enough for all sorts of reasons, depression, anxiety and so on. And obviously this is the fallout from COVID.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
And what I want to say to those people is the world... You can't live to 150 if your world is shrinking right down like that. They need help and they need really drastic help to extend their immediate horizons beyond their bedrooms and their screens.
When I was young, going out to work, wherever it was, whether it was my summer job, whether it was a Saturday job and then my first job, I enjoyed the interaction with people. I still do. Yeah. I would hate to work from home. I don't mind the odd time, and I do a bit of work at home, but generally, because it's not just about your job, it's about, oh, did you see that show last night? Or how's your mum? I heard she wasn't very well. It's that. And also soaking up from other people life experience just by hearing conversations, just by listening to other people.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I'm worried about... I think my more concern is about us paying for that. I mean, so I come from a person that's still caring for my grandfather. So, I'm all about empowering him to live long and do whatever I can to support him to live a healthy, long life. But if we're going to be living longer, we're going to be paying longer. So we're going to be making contributions longer. We're going to have to support them in terms of healthcare longer. And at the moment, we're struggling to do that right now. So if we're living longer, how is that going to help us as a society? I mean, it's just the circle of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
One goes out, another one comes in. Yeah. And that's a beautiful thing and that's natural. But if we start changing that and we start messing with that in terms of technically or scientifically...
But we do live longer now anyway.
Maybe the human species race will adapt, as in, if you're born now, maybe you won't ever smoke, maybe you won't drink, maybe, I don't know. It's interesting. But I was reading about the founder of Brewdog, you know, that amazing brand, Georgia Toffolo's husband, James Watts. These are the things he does every day, OK, because he's obsessed with staying young. Plunges into an ice bath at 6 a.m. I'm out straight away. He uses a neurofeedback helmet designed to aid relaxation, focus and emotional regulation. He takes 17 different supplements every morning, undergoes extensive blood tests every 2 months, spends 70 minutes twice or 3 times a week in hyperbaric chambers, you know, where you can breathe pure oxygen. He's built those into his home in London. So that's quite something before you set off for the office, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, for me, obviously, health-wise, I've had... been diagnosed with lupus since 1998 actually, and so just every year I have my annual chemotherapy and treatment, and so I was like getting prepared for it. Every year it's a big thing, you know, I have to make sure the kids are sorted and all the rest of the stuff, and make sure I've got time off work to recover. And then I got this phone call from the hospital this week after I'd had my bloods done. You get your bloods done to make sure that you're eligible to be able to have the treatment. And she calls me up, I'm in the gym, and she goes, oh, just need to let you know that your blood test results are such that the lupus activity is so low that treating you would do you more harm than good. So I'm like this, sorry, what? Because it's really loud in the gym. I'm like, no, we need to have this conversation properly. Because I was like, I'm not hearing you. You know, 28 years of treatment to be told, actually, you don't need any. So I said, you're going to need to break this down for me. So she said, no, I knew that you'd say that. So we had a meeting with the consultant and the pharmacist. We've looked at your records and you're doing really, really well and you don't need to have treatment this year.
Wow.
Amazing.
Which is incredible, you know, like, you know, obviously I've been campaigning for lupus patients all around the world since I was diagnosed myself, and that's not going to change. But to be in remission, which is what they think I'm heading towards, not there yet, but heading towards remission, is spectacular.
I mean, it's absolutely fantastic news, and I'm so happy for you. But also, is there a small part of you that you're so used to doing this for so many years? Are you a little scared?
100%. I mean, I called her back because I was that worried. I was like, it's great and everything, but are you sure?
Yeah.
Because it feels uncomfortable, and that's going to sound really weird to most people, but I'm used to it. It's been my life for 28 years. I've got used to that being a part of my life. You know, to live a normal life, you do this once a year and then you crack on. And to have that now as not something I need to do, I do feel a bit... I'm not quite there yet. I've not
almost
quite
like being
settled
cut
with it yet.
loose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Going, right, off you go, you're fine now.
Yeah,
and
because
you feel like you haven't got that back up,
it's
maybe.
great. It's great for Kelle, but a lot of people diagnosed with cancer feel they can't ever break clear again because they're dreading getting another letter from the NHS saying come back for your annual scan, and then as a result of that scan they might have a second or a third opinion, and then you're kind of slightly dragged back into, well, maybe you should have preventative chemo injections, or there's so many different treatments now for cancer. And I know so many people, like a friend of mine recently was diagnosed with a very, very small lump in her breast, the size of a chickpea. And she said to me, does it mean I'm going to have chemo? And I went, I really hope you do not have to. But the truth is, you don't really know, because she's starting a process which everything will be analysed, obviously, to make sure that she lives as long as she can.
I think that's fantastic news for you, Kelle, and thanks for sharing it with us. It's nice to have some good news.
Yeah, isn't it?
It really is.
Nice
It's
to have
really
something to
lovely.
celebrate.
Really lovely.